I'd like to welcome everybody to Crypto Nation News. Got Malpass here. Got a very special guest, but before I get into my special guest, I got an even more special co-host for tonight. Come on in here. Say hey to everybody. We got the little Malpass in the building, coming to hang out with y'all tonight. Definitely hope y'all enjoy the show. Tonight we have a special guest of the XRP community, East Coast Dog Rescue. Very interested to sit down and have a conversation to figure out what this is all about. Anytime we can find another use case for XRP, I think that's a great deal, especially if we're using XRP to change the life of a dog. Never thought it would go to that scenario, but hey, I'm down with it. Let's talk about it. Let's bring it up. Let's figure out how this got started, and let's figure out where you are with it. XRP Dog Rescue Center, you want to introduce yourself and tell us what it is you have going on, buddy?
Yes, James, thank you so much for having me here tonight. It was not only an honor, but it's of course an honor as I speak for all the other dog rescues around the United States and around the world right now. My name is the Ripple Wrestling Investor. I have another Twitter page of the Ripple Wrestling Investor, but you're probably wondering how all this got started and why the XRP Dog Rescue Center. Let me give you a quick little story, short little recap. You know, my family were very big with nonprofits. We did so much with the wrestling business, and my daughter, she's been wanting to go into the crypto Twitter world for so long now, and her name on Twitter is Ripple Daughter, and she's 11 years old and she wanted to do something with the dogs. She wanted to incorporate crypto with dogs. Recently, our family lost our beloved dog, and it ripped her to shreds. Ripped her to shreds. And so we figured, her idea was, she says, "Dad, can I, do something that we can, can we incorporate? Let's help dogs. Let's do something." And she goes every day all over the world, all over her school, talking about XRP. And I'd swear she's like a teacher because she knows and watches so many of you guys, the content creators. So I want to tip my hat to all the content creators and say, keep it up. No matter what's going on, keep it up because you guys are doing an awesome job. So the XRP Dog Rescue Center is a total nonprofit charity that my daughter created. It was her idea, and she wanted to raise money for dogs. And she says, what better way but to incorporate, the XRP, the ledger, So mind you, the East Coast, there was members all over the creation, but in the Pocono Mountains in Pennsylvania, we're just starting to learn of people, around the blocks from us. There's people down south, people up north, east, and west. And, she wanted to really get into play with the animals. So we decided to, create a United Space. It's not the first because, we have there's the Company of Dogs, which we are so excited to, be also pushing for them too. They are an awesome nonprofit charity. But the United States based, we're more over in Pennsylvania and on the East Coast. Our goal is to rescue dogs. There's tons of dogs all over the creation that are, they need help. There's no owners. There's people dropping dogs off in the woods. There's so much bad things going on in this world today, James. It's not good. It's not good at all. So if an 11-year-old girl could change the world one dog at a time, why not? Why not?
Hey, I'm with you. I'm a father as well. And anytime the kids want to get into something, I definitely encourage them to do that. I'm really honored that y'all come to me to get your story out. I have a very small channel, just starting, a couple of weeks, and to be approached with getting your story out, I just feel honored because there's a lot of YouTubers that are a lot larger than me that can get a lot bigger audience for you and get this message out a lot further. We have some really good people in the audience tonight. We got Notorious XRP coming to hang out with us. We got Mr. Carl Lewis.
What's up, Notorious?
We got Connie Stewart. We have Jungle Inc is in the house. The Great Pate. Jeff from the Holder Review. So a lot of good guys. Vetty Bro has come in to hang out with us. Let's see who else we got. Let me scroll up over here. We got Alex Yeet come in to hang out with us. Patrick Perrin. Um, Man, we got just a lot. Patsy Greens come in to hang out with us. Just a lot of good people. Definitely appreciate everybody coming in to find out about this, and I think it's a great thing in what you're doing for your kid. But there's going to be some tough questions asked here tonight, because anytime we start talking about nonprofits in the XRP community, just like I know, the community has been burnt a couple of times, and we want transparency on situations. And I don't want you to feel like that I'm just putting you through the ringer, but there are tough questions that need to be asked. We have Lee that's come in to hang out with us, but some of the first things that come to mind when we start talking about a nonprofit and somebody coming into the XRP community to raise XRP for something, is the paperwork behind your nonprofit. What is this, a 501c? Is that correct?
Yeah, actually, there's a couple things we got to do. There's different state laws, but right now we got to get the steps that we were told to take is you got to get a website, then you got to get a corporation, because of course, being a nonprofit, you got to have that behind you. There's different kinds of, you got your LLCs, you got all those things, but your corporation, and then we got to get a 501c. 501c, I believe it is.
501c3.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yes.
And it's just like, you gotta, there's so many fees behind it and stuff like that. And believe you me, I'm the first one to come out in front of everybody in the community when I see something like that. And with all this happening at this time, with what we all see and what's going on, I'll be the first one to tell you. We just like, I wanted to put, when this all came about, and her idea said this, I says, well, we are, of course, the main contributors are the XRP members. It's it's not going to be sponsors around the area, because it's very hard to get sponsors locally. You got, a very big economic crisis all over the world, what's going on right now. So we says, with this being said, we want to open our books. We want to make sure that, we're not only going to do that, but we have to have a board of directors here. So we are very excited to be having a board of directors, which will be XRP members, maintaining different parts of, I would say, the corporation. I don't want to say company, because it's in a company, the rescue. We want to make sure that we get that very clear, with the difference from a shelter and a rescue and a company. So, this is very big. But yeah, with transparency, that you anymore, you have to be, it has to be. My family, we've been in the professional wrestling business now. My dad is retiring. It's been 40 years for him. And for me, I've been, I don't want to say I'm tired of it, but I want to say though, we're a nonprofit with that, and we are family oriented. So we like to push for the police athletic leagues, the cancer foundations. And I don't want to say I wanted to do this, but this fell into my lap. And I'm just so proud of her, because you don't see stuff like this happen a lot, And I'll be honest with you, I talked to Patty B. I was talking a little bit to Boo Boo, and, they were giving a lot of good positive support about it. They're like, this is amazing.
That's right.
You definitely got to do this.
All right, we got Annalise George has come to hang out with us also. Annie, who we have here is the XRP Community East Coast Dog Rescue. They come on today to tell us their story about what they have going on, and they're doing some really good things. But at the same time, I have concerns, just like anybody would have concerns. I have dealt with some of these things before, where you have the type of rescue in which you're doing. And things have went tragic. So Jeff from Hodel Review, he's asking, do you have foster homes for each pet? So I want to ask that question, but then I want to ask another question with it, simply for the fact of, like I say, I do have a tragic story with a 6-year-old kid that was left alone with one of these rescued dogs, and this happened Halloween of last year. And I don't want to get into too many gory details, but here we are a year and some months later, and we're still have my nephew going through reconstructive surgeries from being left alone with one of these rescue dogs. So my questions are, when you have a foster home, do you have foster homes for them, A? And B, what is the vetting process, not only for the home, but what is the vetting process for the dog to make sure that little ones are safe in the environment, or that the dog is safe in the environment, either direction? What is in place to protect both people and animals for this?
Good. Well, very good questions, guys. Let's start with the first one. We are, our plan, I'm going to say right now, we're trying to become a rescue. It takes a good process. It takes a couple steps. Our goal is to have a facility. We want to have a facility where when the shelters become full, we are able to get those dogs in. When we find people like friends, or if they see anything that's nonprofit billboard charities and stuff, because there's people out there that will do that. They're going to call us and they're going to say, look, we have a dog, can you take the dog? We want to have a facility. As of right now, the only thing we could do once we get everything cleared is, to push fostering. Mm-hmm. So this is a great subject with this question. Question 2, let's talk about vets. In PA, it's very hard because a lot of vets, when people think of dog vets, I don't know if you do, but they think, oh boy, that's big bucks for my dog, man. This is big bucks. There's shelter fees for the shelters, there's rescue fees. And the more the rescue is more for like, we want to make sure the dog is 100% okay. We want to do the neutering, the spading. If there's something wrong with the dog, we want to take it to a local partner of the rescues. Now, which just pertains to this, but right now we just got partnered with the Carbon County Animal Shelter, and they are giving us all their information with their vets. So this is it's like I said, it's a God sent thing, because we're not only just working with people, like making the connections, but we're actually finding out new people with new vets. And with the rescues, it's everything that is, of course, donated would be going towards the vet care. Mm-hmm. We want to make sure that everything is okay with the dog before giving it to somebody. There's a lot of paperwork behind this. We're not going to just say, here you go. The paperwork is very, very big. Now, going into, what happened, what you were saying, a lot of the rescues, like I know the rescue that we were dealing with, let's just say this. When we got our dogs from Hope for Hannah. If you guys could look them up, Hope for Hannah Rescue. Awesome people. They would actually get dogs from Maryland, West Virginia. They would be partnered with other rescues where if a family seen a dog in Texas that they wanted to adopt or give it a forever home, they would do that. They would make sure the dog is up here in Pennsylvania, and they would bring the dog up. So we want to have that same thing. We want to make sure that we have, any dog anywhere we could grab, we could take, we could bring here. The paperwork, though, is very, very, I don't want to say hard, but I want to say it's going to be a quiz, because we want to make sure that, the family is right for the dog. Now, we're not talking regular dogs here. We're also talking dogs with special needs. There's dogs there's problems with dogs too. Just like us, there's a lot going on with dogs, just like what's going on with us. So we want to make sure the dog is definitely taken care of. We want to make sure the family is okay with it too. We don't like seeing situations like that. I, as a parent, I would not want that to happen. I want to make sure that we could solve that problem as much as we could, so that doesn't happen at all,
Well, I have to say that what you're doing for your daughter, I commend you for what you're doing for your daughter. Like I say, I don't want you to think that I'm just putting you through the ringer here. These are just all some tough questions that come out when you're talking about animals, when you're talking about fundraising and everything else. And I would rather be the one here this asking the questions, then something go wrong down the road, and we're not prepared for it. Does that make sense? So what you're doing for your daughter, I mean, I commend you. I say Dad of the Year for that, because I mean that's a lot of work in which you're having to go through and put in order to make this happen for her. And I think that's commendable of yourself to be able to do that and make it happen for her. Me, I'm gonna tell my kid, hey man, go play with the dog we got, man, and leave it alone. But the story you were telling me with your daughter and how this all come about was, we all know that Miss Justine is doing some things with some dogs as well. And tell me the story about your daughter and Miss Justine on how that all come about and how this actually started.
Yeah, and this is why, we got to give the respect due to everyone else, because if it wasn't for them and if it wasn't for yous, nothing like this would happen in this community. When I joined in 2014, there was nothing like this. There's this generation has got so big, and that's a good thing. Justine, my daughter, like I said, we lost our dog, the family's dog, and she was heartbroken, and it's hard to see your child suffer like that, and it's not a good thing. So I said, why can't we, let's see what else you want to do. You want another dog, or no, I don't want another dog, Dad. Well, I want to donate with the XRP, because she got involved with the Twitter, and I got her a profile, and she was very, I don't want to say cold, but she didn't have that welcoming feeling, because she just seen a whole bunch of guys, it was like the wrestling business. She's our third generation, I would say, wrestler, if she wants to be, but she's all used to seeing guys. She don't see a lot of girls in the business. But when she actually seen Patty B, she seen Patricia, she seen Boo Boo, she's like, Dad, these are girls? I'm like, yeah, Brie, there are other girls. There's women in blockchain. There's women in the XRP community. And she seen Justine, and she was like, Dad, they got a dog rescue here, and look at this company of dogs. And she was just like how she was for that whole week. It did a total 360, and she just became so happy. And it's hard to see that, because I don't see, nobody, not just me, but everybody. There's not a lot of good in the world anymore. We need to create good. So I talked to Justine, and I was like, Justine, we want to donate, can we donate and stuff? And she was like, yeah, but I says, oh, great. Are you located in the United States? Blah, blah, blah. She said, well, we're in Spain, you'd have to donate towards Spain. And, that's all well and good, but then I told my daughter, I says, well, this is in Spain, she works so hard by, in the Pennsylvania farms up here. She does a lot of, she's an entrepreneur. She was just like me, just like her grandfather. They, cut grass and plowed snow. And, she always tries to do a lot of good things for the community, just like the family. So she made her money. She saved her money. And, every weekend she goes and gets herself something. And then she says, okay, I have the rest here. Can I go and buy something? So she wanted to buy dog food. She wanted to buy dog food, and she wanted to buy dog beds. And, you could go to the dollar store and buy the food there. You could go to Walmart and buy something, but she wanted to spend her $80 in, in dollar bills and $5 bills. And she wanted to donate it, and she's like, I said, Bree, my daughter name's Bree. And I said, you gotta, this is going to be a big thing to ship, and I says, Justine, you guys, so you're in Spain, and I heard about Michael Arrington, how much he's doing so much good for Company of Dogs as well. And I commend everybody. But then I says, what, like, why, Bree, like, there's no, why don't you get to do it for the dogs in Hope for Hannah, our rescue? And then she says, Dad, why can't I just create a dog rescue? Why can't I have an XRP dog rescue? And I was like, oh my God, well, why not? Okay. We got to learn. It's going to take a lot to learn, but you know what? I couldn't say no. That's a wonderful thing. You don't see stuff like this, so it was just like a God sent thing. It really was. really was.
I tell you, very close knit with your daughter, and I can appreciate that because I would have been right off the bat. I'd have been like, okay, no, we're not shipping dog food. We're just gonna buy $40 worth of XRP and send the XRP, and she can buy their own dog food and hook you up that direction. So going above and beyond with your kid, man. I mean, like I say, dad of the year for what you have going on with your daughter. I can respect that. I have 4 kids, and
That means a lot. Thank you.
I wanna kick them in the butt every time I see them. We got wrestling practice and baseball practice and football practice, and I'm just I'm like, wow, come on guys, and here you are out here building rescues for your daughter to take in dogs, and I'm just like, man, maybe I need to be a little bit nicer to these kids.
You know, and I gotta say this, you know, like I have so many people on my other Twitter, and you know, and that's something totally different though. Like I wanted to do something better because, you know, like we need first off, as a father, you know, you and me, we need to spend time with our kids, you know, and for something like this not only just creates a good thing with me and her, but it also helps everybody else too around here in Pennsylvania. And I only hope and pray that, you know, because from the experience of the wrestling and how big that got with our nonprofit and other states, you know, I would like to see this grow. And that's not saying it's me or my family controlling that. I'm saying, like, I would love to see the XRP ledger in the community start, like, you know, let's see a West Coast, you know, we got an East Coast, let's see a West Coast, you know, in the future. Stuff like this, it doesn't happen a lot. You don't see a lot of stuff like this being talked about, at least up here. You know, you got your rescues and shelters, but, you know, I don't want to bring sadness on this show or the channel, but like, you got New York. You know, I see a lot of people on New York posting, you know, they got those kill shelters. I don't like seeing that. It breaks my heart. You know, I'm a guy that gets slammed off the top rope, and I'll be the first one to cry in front of you. I don't like seeing that. And you know, stuff like this needs to be talked about. You know, like the no kill. They're trying to pass a no kill law in New York, and you know, they're not giving it a time of day. So if we could create a facility and have enough space to be able to get dogs from even up in New York down here, that would be tremendous.
All right, so the $1 million question. How are you incorporating XRP into what you're doing with your nonprofit, into the rescue for your daughter? How does XRP fit into the scheme of things, and what is it that you're asking from the community?
Well, the first question, you know, well, not to get off subject, but this actually goes to what I'm trying to say, what we talked earlier. But, you know, in the wrestling business, when I first got into the 2014, the business of crypto in general, you know, I wanted to, you know, of course, like everybody, spread crypto adoption. I wanted to spread XRP adoption. You know, XRP became the fastest and the best of the best. So we wanted to use that not only just to pat ourselves on the back in the business of wrestling, but, you know, spread that adoption. So we started to do nonprofit, you know, with the wrestling. We started to run wrestling shows. We ran raising money for the Police Athletic League, the Cancer Foundation. You know, we started to spread adoption. And that's one thing that I would say the helping dog area department doesn't see a lot of, you know, actually getting helped. You know, you got all your nonprofits, your big ones and your small ones. But from seeing, like, from the past couple of weeks, you don't see a lot of, you know, you don't see the dogs getting helped on that scale. So not only are we going to help the dogs, but this adoption of the XRP ledger, how are we going to incorporate it? You know, we would like to, of course, most of our donations and contributors right now are getting brought only through XRP members. We would like to have on our website, we want to post it everywhere. We want to be also going to local, up here they do it. You got your Wises, your Krogers, you know, we want to be outside trying to raise money, but we also want to show that, you know, we're not using regular fiat, we are using XRP. And this is going to our vets, to the people that are going to be accepting, you know, the money from the people that's donating. So we're not going to take it into XRP, into fiat. We're not trying to do that. We're trying to just send this XRP right to the vets. We want the vets to be able to accept XRP. We want the animal hospitals. We want, everything. Of course, everything's going to be changing coming up. It's coming, but we want to incorporate that and push that seriousness of why we're getting helped. I think everybody has a right to say, okay, yeah, that's a dog rescue and that's awesome, but we're also going that extra mile and helping the XRP community as well. I for an example, and we're not pushing nobody here, but who messaged us was the Hodl Style. Awesome guys making great, apparel. They said, how can we, we would love to contact you and we want to talk to you on how we can help the rescue. It's just the good things, from one good thing happening to another thing popping up that nobody expected to happen, to now businesses getting involved with XRP Ledger and stuff like that.
I'm actually an ambassador for Hodl Style. And,
oh wow! So okay.
I haven't put my affiliate link out there yet. I wanted to really have the right time to put it out there and let everybody know that it is a paid ambassador role that they're offering. But I'm gonna get into all that probably tomorrow sometime and just see how it goes. I mean, I don't even know how it's gonna go. I really like the guys. I actually have a Hodl Style shirt on now.
Okay. Really, oh yeah, that's that new one I seen that they have.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I really like them. They're really nice people. I know that they got a lot of ambassadors out there that are doing a lot of good things, getting a lot of stuff out there. So I really like them people. They're doing some good things. Really exciting what you have going on. I definitely appreciate you coming on here and explaining it to all of us, exactly what you have going on. Where do you see the rescue at? Let's get some timelines. Let's say, where do you see it at in 6 months? Where do you see it at in a year?
Well, let's talk about the steps that we just posted our post like maybe 2-3 hours ago. We explained to everybody, we kind of like opened the books of what we need to do to make this happen, to start getting animals started, to start going to places to pick animals up, to start doing the foster stuff like that. We need to, first off, the major important role, we want to follow the law. We want to make sure that everything is 100% good with them. This is a nonprofit, like we're taking time out, and I literally have been doing like 8 to 10 hour days of doing so much work for just this whole idea. And it's not like I'm getting tired or anything, but I'm getting more excited. Okay. I'm really getting a lot more excited. We're going to need volunteers. There's going to be stuff like that, but for 6 months to happen, we got to go over our humps. And I do see a lot of good things happening. I see us starting to do fosters. I see us starting to get a lot of volunteers. I was told by a lot of the other rescues that are helping us, like our Hope for Hannah is helping us. The Carbon County Animal Shelter is helping us. The Weatherly Weatherly, Pennsylvania was my hometown. They have like a little place for cats, and that's it. But they're helping us too. So I see us getting over our steps to become a full-time, at least to get the fosters started. I see us at least having 10 people to volunteer for us. I see us having our board of directors already started. And I don't want to say, like, I don't want nobody to get confused when I say board of directors. I mean, like, I would like to have 8 to 10, depending on how much usually that happens, how much departments and different areas. We want to have the people that are going to help the rescue, not help themselves or help, my family. We're not trying to do that. We want to have the rescue. This is for the rescue, for the dog. So we want to have the XRP community members getting involved as well. I when I got all this and I took all this in, I was like, man, like the possibilities are endless. A year from now, let's just throw some stuff out there. I want to have a facility. I want to have a facility where we could take dogs in last minute, calls. I want to at least have a place where we could go and get the dogs and bring them in. I want to have a place where we could go to some, like, let's say there's a rescue going to meet us halfway from Texas because a family wants to adopt a dog. I want to have that opportunity to go and get that dog, to bring it the rest of the way back to our place. My daughter also got this idea as well. I forgot to tell you, a lot of the community members were like, they were donating and stuff. And, it's like during the day when my daughter gets out of the school, she's the one that's actually on the dogs. There's a couple people that are, but she's, on the Twitter, and she's thanking everybody, and she's sharing the retweets and stuff. She's posting the dog memes and everything. But she's like, why can't we have something? How are we going to thank these people, Dad? And I says, well, I don't know. That's a good question. Let's think about it. The next day, I guess her and her friends all thought about this together. They were going to have it. They said it was called the Wall of Dog of Fame. It's like a tongue twister a little bit. And this would have been where on the website before we got a facility, but the website would have its own page that would have showed our top contributors, not just the people that are given the top things. We're not like that. We want to show everybody, if it takes 5,000 people, there's going to be 5,000 people on there. We want to let everybody know, this is the community that's doing this. We don't want to just get the help and say, see you later. We want to put everybody on there. We want to put that on. We want to show everybody, we want to say, hey, Patricia, you helped us. Thank you. You're on there, and you got Boo Boo and XRP I am, and, all those people. And then when the facility comes, I would like to have a wall. I know Tom Connors, the Carbon County Animal Shelter, he's the main guy. He's like, yeah, all of our guys that do like sponsorships, we put their name on our wall, and I was like, man, that's an awesome idea. Let's put the XRP people on the wall, because God forbid if they ever travel one day, they'll be able to stop at the rescue and they could see their name. And, it's not like it's a plaque or nothing, but at least they could see their name on the wall with everyone else's. And that's something to be proud of.
Well, I really think that you're touching lives. I mean, even right here in the chat, I pooped in a cereal. He already feels like he needs to contribute more in the world. And so I think that's a good thing. We're going to have I pooped in a cereal contributing to a nicer world. So I think that's great. You're changing lives everywhere you go. Hey, but I will say, I know I've asked some tough questions, and I know that I've been, seemed like it might have been a little hard on you. But what I want you to know is that I really appreciate the efforts that you're putting out. I wish you all the luck in the world with it. I know that with the XRP community right now, there are some gun shy situations going on at the moment, and people might be looking at you skeptical. That's the reason I would rather go ahead and ask the questions now than having your daughter get reamed out for it later as she's posting something on Twitter. I would definitely like to go ahead and get it out there. We'll share this video. We'll get it out to as many people as I possibly can. I mean, realistically, I'm not getting as many views as most YouTubers are, but there again, it's just a new channel, and we're trying to get it out there also. I definitely appreciate you coming on. I definitely appreciate you taking the opportunity to come on. Let's see if anybody in the chat has any questions for you, and and let's go from there. Anybody in the chat got any questions?
While we're waiting to see who has anybody some questions, I just want to say one thing, and I'm just like everybody else out there before any of this started. I was just like your average Joe Schmo XRP investor. And I just want to say this. I think if you have the time to do something with your life for your children or for not, or if you don't have kids, I think it's a good thing to get involved somehow with the XRP idea of the whole at ledger. I think, let's just say this. It's better to do something good, because it's not about, it's going to come back at me 100%. But I think if you have the time and you want to do something with your life and do something for yourself, I think you guys should go and do it, because look at this. This is just a prime example, and I wake up now every day and I'm even more happier. You know, I really am. This is a
Well,
good
I'm
thing.
glad that I got the opportunity to sit down with you because I tell you, there's definitely a shortage of good people in the world, and what you're doing not only for your family but for your community, it's blessings. You will be blessed for your efforts. It all comes back, and it don't go unseen. Everybody sees what's going on, especially in your community, especially with your daughter. Because I promise you right now, there's no bigger hero in her eyes than her dad. I promise you, because there's a lot going on. You're doing a lot of good stuff. Um, Jenna Thompson come in and says she's sorry she come in late, but where will this be located at?
Well, we're looking to have a facility either in Monroe County. Now we're in Pennsylvania. I'm in an area of the Pocono Mountains. If you look up the Poconos, it's like the best place for resorts. They literally just put right down the street from us. It's like the world's largest water park. It's called Kalahari. So we want to put it like direct center. If we could put it in Monroe County, we would like to have this in, like, you know, you got New York, you got New Jersey, and then you got your, like, your tri-state area, you know. Um, if we could keep it direct in the tri-state, I think that's the best.
All right, so you got steps in what you're taking to get this all mapped out.
Oh
As
yeah.
of now, you're working on your website. Once you get your website up and running, then you need to become a corporation, whether it's an LLC or whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
Once you're established in that direction, then you move into getting your paperwork lined out with your 501c3 for your nonprofit. And from grabbing that piece of paperwork, then you will be at the point in time to where you're ready to foster dogs at that point. Am I following you correctly on that?
Yeah, yeah. We were trying to, and I wouldn't say it was all excitement, but you know, my daughter was trying to actually see all this happen all at once, and I was like, well, you know, daddy can't make that happen all the way. But yeah, we talked to everybody already. We talked to, you know, the state already about it. It was like, you know, like they were charging at, for the 501c, they were charging like $600 at one time. And it was like, wow, you know, people are, it seemed like the more good you wanted to do for life in general, it was like it's costing an arm and a leg. So thank God, they said, like, if your profit is looking to make more than or less than $40,000, you know, they would have charged you $275. So, you know, we got our prices. It's all online. It's all on the post. And we literally just posted everything today. But yeah, you know, the corporation and stuff, we want to obey by the law. You know, we want to make sure everything, you know, everything is good. So, and, you know, I'm excited. I really am. I think it's not just me, but it's also, you know, it's not my daughter too, but it, you know, it's everybody, you know, like everybody I talk to, they're like, yeah, this is an awesome idea. How can I help? Like we're getting people messaging us, you know, can you help us? Is there, you know, how can we help you? And there's other rescues even hearing about this. I
Some of the
told you,
things.
James, about the news. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
About the news. The people that, well, they heard about it. Our local news stations up here, and they want to do an interview with everything. So I was like, man, this is awesome. James is making this happen. We could use the video and we could show everything, you know. So like I said, it's just a good thing one after another. And
Some of the
that's
things, so the best advice that I can give you is realistically, once you start to establish your corporation, whether it's a LLC or whatever it is that you're gonna be establishing at that point, I highly recommend a legal team. Go ahead and get you a legal team. Go ahead and get you a CPA because you never know what's going to happen. The people that my nephew's mother got the dog from. There's some major lawsuits for all of the reconstructive surgery that this baby is having to go through, and major bills because of the ambulatory ride and the fact that they shut down every street from that kid's house all the way to the hospital. Because I mean, literally, the kid was I don't understand how he survived. To be honest with you, it's just a very
See,
bad situation. So definitely make sure you have your legal team in place. Make sure you have your CPA to keep up with your money. I don't want to get too far into your money, but realistically, I mean, it's our job to get into your money. How much money have you had donated so far to your
Yeah.
organization?
That's an awesome question. We are pretty much like $46, and that's been since, let's see here. This is since 11/28. So we started getting donations on 11/28, and we got about 206 right now, XRP. So we're at $46 and some change. But our first goal is to try, it's 194.04 for a Wix website. So, and that's like to accept donations or some type of, it was like some type of e-commerce package. And then we needed enough hard drive or gigabyte space to put the dogs on there. So we're not talking 20, 30 dogs. We're trying to get a couple hundred dogs on there from in the state. And then if we could even get other rescues to be partnered with, to get their dogs on there as well too.
Well, I have recently purchased some domain names, and I will be more than happy to donate you a domain.
Wow.
That you can build your own website upon it. And on it, you can actually put your TipBot QR, and people can go to your website and donate from your website per TipBot. You can actually have it call enabled. So when people come and they view in your website, they can actually be donated micropayments as they're going through your website. Also, tomorrow we'll get together. I'll send you the link. I will donate the website to you. You can go ahead and start building that up and get that part of it going. I don't know how much that helps you, how much money that saves you. I don't know. But like I said, I have a couple of domains sitting to the side, and I don't mind donating that to you, to your organization, and getting that going for you. Shavo Mofo, before you say hi to me and Angie, nice Malpass, I'm down with this because I hope the XRP community gets behind this. Shavo Mofo, I'm here, you buddy. It is a good thing. I think that realistically, I think that you have probably made your daughter probably one of the happiest little kids on earth doing all of this for her. I can't commend you enough for the things that you're doing for your daughter. That blows me away in itself. Outside of everything else, just the way you stepped up as a dad for your kid, man, my hat's off to you. And I got a lot of respect for everything you're doing.
Thank you. Yeah, no, you know what? Like this is, it's already, she's already in bed, but I can't wait to text her and be like, we got a domain, cause we were looking at other options. We were trying to build our websites. We were going to like GoDaddy. These people want like astronomical money just for a domain for like, and you can't buy it for like a month. They want a whole year or 2 years, so that's amazing. Thank you so much. That's just, like I said, it's just good things happening down the line. And the quicker we can get this website up, the quicker we can start step 2, and we could start getting dogs on there. We could, once the website's up, like I was going to say, well, maybe we could start the board of directors now, but I was like saying, well, somebody told us, our first volunteer, she was like, I would get your website going first, and then we could post the applications, for the board of directors, because we want people to be responsible about this. We want our the XRP members. We want to make sure that they're gonna, they're gonna be the ones that's gonna make the tough decisions. So we want to make sure that this is not mine. This is yours. This is everybody's.
That's right. Well, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. We've been on here for a little over an hour. I'm sure that everybody is getting a little bit of stream lag. That does happen. You got to hold the audience for a little while, and I definitely appreciate you coming on. You got anything you want to say to them before we get out of here?
You know what? No, I just want to say thank you guys very much for sitting down for the past half hour to 45 minutes and taking that opportunity to give me the respect to talk, because this is not only doing a good thing for the dogs, but this is supporting the XRP community, and it's supporting the ledger. It's everything is just in a flywheel effect, really is. That's right. So, we want to keep pushing XRP. We want to push the dogs. And, like I said, if you guys have the time and the opportunity to start something like this, I would definitely do it, because this is what XRP community needs right now. We need good things in the community, guys. So thank you guys very much. And James, Thank you so much for letting us be the opportunity to tell a story.
Man, so many great YouTubers out there. I'm honored and I'm blessed that you actually asked me, and knowing that I don't have a large audience, and I'm just still blessed that you asked me to do this for you, and I appreciate that. Hats off to you for everything you're doing. Guys, the Crypto Nation News is growing, over 1,360 subscribers at the moment. If you have not subscribed and you're in the chat right now, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, hit the likes, because he's doing a lot of good things for his daughter. Hey, remember, as always, guys, love God, love others, and let's serve both. We can make this thing happen. We may not have it all together, but together we can have it all. Let's stop the bashing. Let's pick each other up. Let's help each other out. When we see somebody down, if they don't have the right answers, hey, let's pick them up and give them the right answer. Let's not bash them because they don't have the right answer, guys. We'll make it through this thing together, and I promise you, we ain't far from seeing some daylight on the other end. It's been a long bear market. This thing right here has drove a lot of people insane, but I tell you, when we see the other side of it, you will be glad. All the frustrations will feel so minimal compared to the joy you're gonna have on the other side of this thing. I, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate everybody that's coming here and hung out with us tonight. We got the new intro coming out for the Crypto Nation News. Mr. Notorious XRP has been busting his butt on it for a couple of days, and this thing is just going to be amazing. I know he's going to blow me away with it. I'm really excited to premiere it for everyone. As soon as that comes through, we're going to premiere it on Twitter, then go ahead and post it up on the YouTube channel. But like I say, guys, hit the likes, hit the subscribes, and we'll see you in the next one.